Hi, I'm Kakit Wong. This is my Lab4 demo for the clock. So I think you should be able to see my screen. Okay, perfect. So for my Lab4, I have one top module called System, and within the top module, I have essentially 4 different modules. One for the alarm, one for the clock, a 7-segment display driver, and some push button modules. The main module that I want to focus on in this demo is my clock unit module. All right. So for the clock unit module, what I did was I made some inputs and some outputs, and that's what I call them. And then I have a time display right here. This is just essentially to show how the time would be. And so the very first thing I did within my clock unit was to be able to reset the clock. And then the second thing I did in this module was being able to set the clock using the push buttons on the Fpga. And then I created a counter. And so what this counter does is that when 60 seconds are up, then it will go into the state of 1 minute. And then when 1 minute's up, it will increment by hours. And then when hours reach 23, it should reset back to 0. And then this is just this is a binary to BCD converter, just so that the numbers on the board shows up individually. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the clock unit. Okay, so here I have my Fpga board. I don't know how well you can see it. Sorry for the poor video feedback. My camera's really bad. So yeah, my goal for the Fpga board was to have the LEDs represent the seconds, since my board is clearly smaller and it doesn't have as many 7-segment displays. And what was going to happen was after every, after every 5-6 blanks, the seconds was supposed to increase, but I must have done something wrong where the LED actually, I guess the seconds correlates here with this switch, and it just continues to go when the last switch is turned on. Yeah, so that's the very strange part about the board, and I wasn't able to figure out exactly why it does what it's doing now. And clearly, if you can see, like the blinking, the time is changing very fast. So yeah. Yeah, so for the very last part of the lab, it is said that we're supposed to talk about some successes and failures about, for both partners, but since I pretty much did this lab by myself, I'll just talk about the successes that I had and the failures that I had when doing this lab. Well, as you can see from the board, one of the failures was pretty much not being to properly implement the seconds correctly, where the board essentially incremented properly. I think another one of my failures was getting the time to show up properly, and that works in conjunction with seconds. As for successes, I thought I did a really good job on essentially making the clock unit. I think it really made a lot of sense as to what I was trying to do. And um, another success that I think I had was probably just tying everything together with the systems module. And I thought that was kind of a success because when I first started this whole uh, Verilog journey, I wasn't very sure on how to instantiate everything. And it was kind of confusing where I was supposed to assign what variables. And at this stage of the course, I started to figure it out. And that's something that I feel pretty proud of. Thank you. Stop sharing.